they're going to promote you on their social media pages too.
So the big question is, what are top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate, grow their teams and add more transactions year over year while so many struggle? To get the answers, we interview top real estate agents to learn their secrets to success. Listen, we believe every agent should make a minimum of $100,000 per year, and we're on a mission to make this happen. We've already helped over 100 agents achieve this with our coaching. So if you want to fast track your business growth, get to your first $100,000 in GCI or add another $100,000 in GCI using social strategies, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com, or you can just click the link in the description below. Also, just make sure to follow us, hit that subscribe button, and if you get any value from this at all, please tell a friend and leave us a review. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Elite Agent Secrets Show. Today we've got Steve Kempton with us. In his 12 years in real estate, he has closed over 350 deals in just the past 5 years. Last year, 2021, closed 95 deals, 27.5 million, all with absolutely zero prospecting. Today we're going to be talking about self-branding, co-oping, do's and don'ts, and organization. It's going to be some fire content from a solo agent who is fucking rocking it out in there in Philly, right? You guys were talking off air.
Yeah,
Philly.
right outside of Philly, South Jersey is our market. It's funny, my town, Washington Township, where I'm born and raised and live now, we call it Little South Philly. It's a lot of South Philly Irish and Italian families kind of moved over to Bridge when this town started getting built and boomed back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. And it seems like everyone's either has roots from South Philly, they still work there and just want the suburb life and travel over to Bridge. So we're 20 minutes outside of Philly, 45 minutes to Atlantic City. So it's one straight road connects the two cities, and we're kind of a third of the way in.
I love it. That is literally my old stomping ground. My mom still lives in the area. I know exactly where you are. You know, when we were initially talking off air, you had me in 95 deals, yet alone with the zero prospecting. That was a cherry on top that I didn't realize until Andrew rolled the intro.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I want to know how that's even possible, because zero prospecting, that's like a real estate agent's dream, but I'm assuming it didn't happen overnight. So we have to take it back to day one, 12 years ago. Take us back through how you even got involved in the industry. What made you decide to go and tell us a little bit about your journey? What did your first year look like? Yeah,
for sure. So I graduated, born and raised Washington Township, like I said. I lived here for 30 to 36 years, 37 years, however old I am. So my roots are obviously grounded here. My school, when I graduated high school, we were the third largest in the state. I graduated with over 750 kids. And the freshman class was over 1,000. So just figure how many people are just naturally in my sphere from high school days. A lot of people kind of stay in this area. If they moved outside of the town, one or two towns over, but everyone's kind of connected through social media, which is great. I went to Rowan University, which is one town over, local college. And then in 2008, when I graduated with a marketing degree in business, that's when everything kind of bottled out. That's when every business was closing up shop. They weren't hiring, they were firing. And if I was getting an outside sales job opportunity on a salary, it was 30, 40 grand entry level stuff. I was DJing weddings, corporate parties, events, things like that, making more than that, doing, just on weekends. So I couldn't see myself working 9 to 5 for doing the same amount of money that I was making in 2-3 days over the weekend. So my parents were retired school teachers, dabbled in real estate, very part-time, and just said, why don't you get your license and see what happens? So I did that. And, my first year I did 6 units, didn't really take it seriously. I remember I was posted on social media all the time. Who's going out and drinking? Let's fucking go party, this, that, and the other thing. Philly's just fucking won the World Series. I would curse all over social media. And I had this one agent said to me, he's like, dude, like people see that, and if you're trying to build a business, you got to present yourself like that. And I never forgot, from that day, I kind of changed my entire social media outlook and posting and way that I presented myself. And doing that over the last, 12 years, now people don't remember Steve, the party crazy guy. They just know Steve as someone that takes his business very seriously and goes to work every day. So, as the years kind of developed in real estate, it was great. It was DJ at someone's wedding, called me for a house. DJ'd someone's wedding, asked me to get them a rental. Then the real estate got bigger. The DJing naturally just slowed down because I didn't have the time for it, and eventually cut ties DJing, I'd probably say 5 years ago. And then real estate just kind of snowballed. It was 20 units, then it was 30 units. I left Century 21 with my mentor, Tony, who owns the RE/MAX office that I'm in now. I went from 39 units to 62 units. And then from there, I haven't done less than 60 since. Last year was 95. The year before that was 73. So all of it is just really just staying in front of my database, staying in front of my sphere, and posting, relative content. I hate the agent that posts out showing houses today in the snow. Like, who gives a shit? My wife's a school teacher. She went to go teach kids today. She don't see her posting about it. It's called work. It's going to work. It's doing your job.
I love that. I love what you just said, because it puts things into perspective. Because a lot of people, they get into this real estate thing, they go get their license, and they think it's like these deals are going to start flowing in.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're not doing the things that are required. So doing showings is part of what's required for you to be in this business.
Exactly.
So when you say, yeah, my wife went to work, she didn't post about it, I did the same thing, I don't need to post about it. How do you offer value? What I want to know is, how the hell did you go from 30 to 60 deals? And what changed where you literally doubled in the matter of 12 months?
So I track everything, and we're going to talk about organization later. I think that's one of my best traits, as a business person. So I always go back and look at years past and where the deals came from and where I can get more and things like that. So it was just naturally at a point in my career where, being the age that I am, a lot of people had the condos and the townhouses, the first units outside of mom and dad's house. And then they got married. They might have had a kid, expecting a kid, got a new job, got a raise. A lot of them were, all right, time to sell the first house and buy either the forever home or that second house before the forever home. So when you do 39 units of first-time home buyers, you got 39 clients to do 39 units. When you have 39 or even half, 15, 16 that need to sell the first house and buy the next house, that 16 clients becomes 32 units.
Yeah, because I got it. So every person that also needs to buy obviously needs to sell. Sort of what I just experienced recently, where I had one person who was selling the house. I had somebody walk into my open house. I got to double in that deal, and I got to sell. And I was in a position and I had the privilege of helping them buying their new property. So that one deal really turned into 3 transactions per se.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there's an agent in my office. He does 200 units a year. He's a mega star solo guy. He should probably be on the podcast and not me. But he says every deal, don't look at it as one deal. Don't care about that deal that's in front of you. Care about the 5 that they're going to refer you to. Do right by that client. Make sure they feel like they're the only person that matters to you. Make sure they get a good deal, whether they're buying or selling, and they're going to talk about you forever, and then they'll get you 5 more. So I've never had a client use me. Well, I shouldn't say never. I try my best not to have a client ever use me on a purchase or sale and never refer me or never use me again when they need me again. I want to be the only agent that they ever talk to and talk about.
Yeah, it's the 1 in 5, 1 in 7 type thing, which actually compounds, because the way you look at it is every client sells every 5 years, give or take average, right? And they buy or sell maybe 5-7 times in their lifetime. So if you're a good realtor and you're in the business that long, you can capitalize on not only that, but so you've got your 5 or 7 there. Then you've also got the 5 or 7, hopefully referrals, or even if it's anywhere from 1 to kind of 5 referrals you get, and that compounds as well. So you do a great job for them. So actually one client it's like a multi-6-figure income if you play it right over your career, just from one person doing a good job, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is what people don't appreciate, right? They don't see the long-term game, because real estate, like people listening, like be in no doubt, there is a shitload of money here. Like a lot of people struggle, a lot of people fail, but there is an ass load of cash that you can take. And you just got to be willing. Unlike a lot of industries, this is a very long-term play. Like you got to think, a lot of people like want 2 months out. It's like, no, you got to think 10 years out in real estate. Yeah, it's 5 years, 10 years out, and start thinking like how the compound effects work over a decade in real estate. No other industry can get even fucking close that I'm aware of. Like,
exactly. Exactly.
but you got to be in it. You got to be in and all in. It's a business at the end of the day, right?
So Steve, one of the questions that I have for you is when you change your image from I'm going to party my face off, party hardy, drink Bacardi, smoke a blunt, throw a party.
I like that phrase right there. We are getting a snowstorm this weekend, so who knows?
Yeah, that was one of your better ones. His analogies are usually awful.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Andrew. My analogies are pure shit, like 95% of the time. So I gotta keep the ammo coming.
What I said yesterday was not the brightest light bulb in a shed, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, he's got a kid now. He's got the dad jokes. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta come equipped with the dad jokes. But where I'm going with my question is, you went from, posting, cursing, and having the image of, party animal per se, I guess, for lack of better words, because you were a DJ. So I guess that kind of was fitting.
Yep.
When you changed your image to being professional and you decided to run this thing like a business, how long did that shift take before your audience started realizing that, hey, Steve's really about this, and they can see a change, and the phone calls started coming in?
I'd probably say about 2 years. It takes a while. It's not going to happen overnight, obviously. And the more that you can comment on other people's stuff, just to make sure that you are always popping up in their feed, because you know how Facebook is. You got 1,000
organic reach sucks.
10 that pop up all the time. So, it's complimenting them for a new job. It's complimenting them for having a new baby. It's complimenting them for, even if they bought a house and they didn't use you, congratulations on the new home. It might sting a little bit, but it's just constantly staying in front of people, but giving them information that's going to be beneficial. Like going back to showing houses, no one cares. You're just putting fluff out there, and you do that, then they're going to look at you in a negative light as well. And no one wants to see that you're doing this busy work of real estate every day. But if you can give informational data, like I post, our board of realtors gives us market stats for the month. So I always post, this is what's going on in our county and the county next to us. And that's useful information. It's don't post a picture of, which kitchen do you like more, but 4 options. No one cares. Like, you got to have a Better Homes and Garden magazine. Like, post something that's going to be relevant and that gives information, gives value. And then you market your listings and your sales. And I used to do under contracts, but then I realized deals fall apart all the time. Then you're putting it back on the market. Then you're resharing that. It's just too much clutter, too much junk. So a new listing, post it. A just sold, post it. Congratulate your clients. I also try to tweak my just solds, put a little personal note on there. Congratulations, Peter. Brand new dad, you and your wife and your brand new baby are going to love the condo you guys bought. I'm so happy for you both. Little Pete's going to love, running around the kitchen, so happy that you guys got the house you're looking for and chose me as your agent in the trust, or Andrew, congrats on the sale of your house. You were the highest sale price by $15,000 in the history of your neighborhood. Wow, that's amazing. Good for you. Thanks for the trust. Thanks for the opportunity. It's give a little bit more than just my seller sold a house today. Put a little something in there. Make it personal. Make them want to see why you sold that house and how you did it, or a personal touch to them buying the house instead of just another one sold. And I hate that more than anything. Another one done. Who's next?
Yeah. I
feel like that's so important.
Who's next?
Personal.
You McDonald's? Who's next? Stop with who's next. This ain't Starbucks.
So when you're talking, obviously adding personality, adding flair, this rolls quite nicely into your first topic, which is actually self-branding, which for somebody that has done 95 deals in 2021 and with zero prospecting, working this your database, and obviously your brand is out there at this point, it's obviously something that has now made you a lot of money. So let's talk about what self-branding means to you and how, what we can do for our listeners to get them to increase their branding game.
Yeah, so for me, I came up with a hashtag a couple of years ago. Steve sells South Jersey, just kind of the alliteration, just kind of rolls. I can walk into any pizzeria, bar in the area, and someone's going to be yelling it from across the room. Up here, Steve sells South Jersey. It's a joke. We go golfing with the guys. But it's just embedded in people's heads. So, Try to find something that works for you, and that's going to be a part of your personality, a part of who you are, a part of your area, a part of your service, whatever you can do. And then I do a ton of client appreciation events. And I'm always trying to stay in front of my clients, my database with that. So then they look at me as, Steve didn't just sell me a house 4 years ago. I do in my town is Duffield's Farm, and every Halloween-ish time we do a hayride and pumpkin picking. Doesn't matter if you bought a house from me 12 years ago, you're still invited to that. You and your family get pumpkins, go on a hayride. We got donuts or whatever. So it's more of just Steve sold me a house, and I was a client to him. I'm part of his real estate family now. And it's just staying in front of them with that kind of stuff. We did Yeti cups last year with the logo on there. I had some sponsors help me out with cost on that. We've done bought tickets at a theater for a local play. I'm partnering up with a coffee shop soon to do a client appreciation event there, where it's come on in, have a cup of coffee with Steve. Just let's talk and chat. And just don't bring up real estate. People know what you do. They know why you're there. So if you're constantly bringing it up, you're going to beat them over the head with it. They're not going to want to talk to you anymore. It's the easiest job in the world for people to bring up your profession, because everyone wants to know what's going on in real estate. Doesn't matter. My buddy sells life insurance. Ain't no one calling him up, hey, how's life insurance going today? No one cares. But everyone wants to know what's going on in real estate. So by staying in front of these people at these events and these touches and these things, they're always going to ask you, and then you get to talk about it once they bring it up.
It's interesting you say this, because Andrew and I talk about this all the time. No matter where you go, no matter whether it's a family function or the hospital. And I promise this is a good example, because we just had our little one, and the doctor knows that I'm an agent. I didn't bring it up. I guess my wife would have told her over the last 9 months when she goes to visit. The baby comes, my wife, delivers, and she goes, oh yeah, by the way, how's the market? As she's handing the baby, I can't make this shit up.
Right? Exactly.
Every single person that you talk to has some level of interest in real estate, and they will ask you about it if they want to hear about it.
1,000%.
Right? 1,000%. And what you're saying is, with your self-branding, the way you're branding, Steve, is what I can tell is you're very client-focused, family-oriented. You have a brand that goes, beyond that real estate transaction. You're actually the first person that I think we have on the podcast that's really doubling down and even mentioning client appreciation events, from the frequency that you seem to do them and of how you actually structure them. So can you give us a little bit?
I'll have to cut you off just as it popped in my head. Super Bowl's in 2 weeks. Last year my lender and I did our last 100 clients that bought a house from both him and I. We put in a couple bucks in the pot. I got a couple sponsors, gave them a shout out in an email, and everyone got a block. Last 100 people that bought a house from us got a block. Whoever won the first quarter got a $25 Amazon gift card. Second quarter got halftime got $50 or whatever it was. Fourth quarter, my financial advisors were like, we'll take care of the fourth quarter. We'll give you $250. Winner of the fourth quarter got $250. And for what? They got a free entry just because they bought a house from me at some point with me and my preferred lender. They were put in the Super Bowl block pool, did the text messages and the thank yous. And then the entire game I'm getting, oh my God, I hope there's a field goal. Oh my God, I hope there's it was great, and I knew Tom Brady was going to win his 1,000th Super Bowl. So I'd rather be texting with my clients and have a good time. With COVID, we were locked in. I was stuck with my wife, so it was able to engage with a ton of people, and it gave them an extra reason to watch, and it cost me pennies, and it was just a great way to just touch 100 people for nothing. It's just simple ways that you can get in front of people. It's just think.
There's two things that I want to bring up. It's actually one, your hashtag and your kind of brand and people know you for is Steve Sells Real Estate. Steve Sells South Jersey. Sorry, and what's interesting about that is you said before, it was at Century, now at Remax, but Steve Sells South Jersey is your brand.
Yep.
So let's say tomorrow you want to leave and you want to go to KW, for example. It's like, well, Steve Sells South Jersey is owned by you. It makes no difference. Something we talk about a lot is like, people actually don't give a fuck what brokerage you're with. They care about you. Like, are you a good realtor? Are you going to take care of them? Are you going to do a good job? Tell you this, the brokerage ain't doing that for the client. You're doing that for the client. And a lot of realtors have this I guess, this belief in their head that, oh no, they're coming to me because I'm with KW, because I'm with the best Remax office. There's a small amount of that that's true when you're new and you're on a big team. So you don't have the clout that the team has. That's the only time I'll kind of be like, okay. But when you actually, like yourself, when you started selling 30 homes a year, whatever, like that's plenty where you start building your own brand. And then when you walk away and you can do whatever you want, you can go set up your own indie brokerage now. And it's like Steve sells South Jersey and that is your brand, right? Yeah. And then no one can take that away from you ever. It's owned by you. It's your thing, which is massive. And the other thing was going to be, and the irony of this is I've just forgotten it, so it will come back to me. It was going to be about the events. Sorry, one of the biggest issues in real estate that we see is people, was it 80 or 90% of people who buy a home forget who their realtor was within a year, and then within 2 years they've even forgotten the broker. Or it's like 18 months. The exact stats, like whatever they are to the percentage and the amount of time, makes no real odds. The point is, it's a huge problem. And yet a lot of them, I think it's like 9 out of 10 say, I would use that realtor again. But by the time they want to buy or sell their home again, they've forgotten who the fuck it was.
Right.
And it's like these appreciation events are solving that problem. And by the sounds of it, you're having a lot of fun doing them.
Oh,
you
yeah.
actually enjoy doing them. So it's like, it's costing me pennies. I've grown a big business and it's going to keep growing. Like, you know, you've got a compound effect going here like crazy, right? So you're going to just keep growing and it's going to blow up. It's going to be awesome. Your clients are having an amazing experience. You're having a lot of fucking fun doing it. It's like anyone that's listening to this, doesn't that just sound awesome? Because to me, that even sounds fucking awesome. I'm like, I get to do all this shit, Super Bowl, going out, coffee, hanging out with people, doing all these events that I enjoy doing, costs me pennies on the dollar, makes me money in the long term and grows my company. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in.
You look at it, man. It's a serious business. Obviously, you know, it's people's livelihoods. It's their number one asset that they own. There's a lot of high stress in it. So take that away. You know, make them feel like you're in good hands. You know, it's people always question your commission rate and your list price and your intentions on selling them a house and this and that until you can get that trust. And now it's people call me back and it's not even what's this, what's that? It's Steve, this is what I'm looking for. Take the reins and get it done. And it's invaluable.
But see, through your brand, through everything you stand for, through the trust and the relationships you've developed over the years, it's evident that you're not focusing on that transaction that's in front of you. You're focusing on the 5, 10, 15 years down the road. So for anybody who's just starting, and maybe they've never done a client appreciation event, myself including, right? Where would you even start? How do you even go about planning this? How complex or simple do you make this? Can you share with somebody who is an absolute noob or somebody who may have even done this, what you're doing that's successful aside from like the Super Bowl blocks and drunks? Because I don't know a whole lot about Super Bowl, so I'm trying to figure out how to make a client appreciation event that I could actually like execute within the next few months.
Just don't invite Gary Vaynerchuk to that Super Bowl event. It wouldn't go down well. And for anyone that doesn't get that joke, he's a Jets fan. He hates fucking Brady.
Yeah, I mean, you got to know your community. So know what people like to do. Know what's around you. Every town, suburb town's going to have a park. You can do something for free at a park. Come on out. We're going to have a picnic party. I don't know. Like just Google things to do, or fun things to do, or think about if you have a significant other. What do you guys like to do? You like to go wine tasting. Call if there's a vineyard nearby. Like in our area, there's a ton in Mullica Hill, where you said your family's from. Just set up a happy hour at a vineyard, and if you invite 100 people, how many are going to show up? 25, 30. So you're getting the exposure of inviting all these people out. Not everyone's going to come. And then we have title companies that can help out. We have, mortgage companies that can help out, home inspectors. If you're referring business to a homeowner's insurance rep, he can help out. So there's ways that you can get help on the expense. So it's not breaking your bank, but you're running a business. You got to spend money to make money. So I would say kind of know what people like to do in your area, know what your clients are. So we used to do there's a local diner that has a sports bar attached to it, and we would do a Thursday night client appreciation event there. But as the people got older and couldn't, rally the next day to get to work, or they had kids and didn't want to go out on a weeknight to drink with their agent, and because they had kids and I had a babysitter, then we changed it. We said, all right, this is not working anymore for where our database is. It's more family oriented. So then we switched it over to the pumpkin picking. So it's just knowing what's in your area. If you're in Connecticut, I don't know what's big in Connecticut. Maybe it's whale watching, or who knows. Set up a whale watching thing. I don't know. Go down in Texas.
I love it. I love it.
Ride horses in Texas. I don't know. But just know what your market does and what the people like to do, but know what your database does. Know what your clients like to do. If all your clients are your age and you're 30, then go out to a bar and say, hey, I'll buy your first beer. Come and say hi. If your database is 40 and they have kids, hey, let's go to the local trampoline park and I'll sponsor 2 hours of it or whatever. It's just know what's in your area and what you have accessibility to do, and make relationships with the business owners. They're going to want to refer you out to the people that they know. Business owners obviously know a ton of people. So use your connections to help out with pricing and rates and availability, and then they're going to promote you on their social media pages too.
I love it. Now, for anybody that's listening, is how do you have those conversations about getting sponsors? What do you say to them to get them on board, other than, hey, I've done a whole lot of business with you. Pay up, buddy.
So I oddly hate asking anybody for, even my lender. And my lender, I give them 30.
That's why I'm asking this question.
Do you want to kind of do this? Just put it out there. I'll mass email sometimes, 5 or 6 different vendors I work with. Hey guys, appreciate all the support that we're able to give each other back and forth over the years. I'm putting together coffee at a local coffee shop. If any of you guys want to jump on board, anything that you could do to help is appreciated. Thanks so much. And obviously I'll give you a shout out in the formal invite that goes out to everybody. What I will say is only use one person in the field though. I know a couple of agents around my area, they'll use 2 title companies or 2 lenders or whatever in their sponsorships. And I feel like that's just kind of bad business. I feel it's a little tacky. It's going to cut down on your costs, but if you're asking someone to sponsor something, they should be the only person in that field. Don't have 2 divorce attorneys. Don't have 2 estate attorneys. Don't have 2 title companies. Just give one per event. And then your next event, let the other one sponsor it. And then when you send out the invite, copy them on the invite and just say, hey, thanks so much to Andrew, the home inspector. His generosity. He's worked with a lot of you guys over the years. He's helping us out, with sponsoring. You don't got to say he's, giving me money. Just say, sponsoring, being a part of this, whatever. Peter is a great divorce attorney. Shall any of your friends, because I know you guys all have great, relationships, but, should anyone ever have the need for his services, you make sure you think of him, because he's a big part of our business and why we're doing what we're doing today.
The irony of that analogy being that his second child's just come and his wife's there. Divorce attorney, Peter, what?
Yeah.
This is why I have the headphones on, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, you might not have known this, but we've already helped over 100 agents cross over $100,000 per year and up in GCI with our predictable and scalable systems. So if you're interested in learning more about our courses and coaching to help you scale your business to 6 figures and beyond, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com.